Greetings, fellow carbon-based bipeds. I am Scott Rose, and you are watching Explosions and Stuff. Today, I'll be reviewing the 2015 film 4Got10, starring Johnny Messner, Dolph Lundgren, and Danny Trejo. An overview of the movie? A man wakes up with amnesia in the midst of countless bodies, a fortune in cash and cocaine from a drug deal gone bad. With no idea who he is, he gets in a van with the money and drugs and heads off to find out just who he is. It's not long, however, before the drug lord, the DEA, and a corrupt sheriff are hot on his trail. The pros of this movie? Well, first of all, they did a really good job at making a lot of these moments just feel really chaotic. Especially times where the guy with amnesia comes in and he's scrambling around trying to figure things out. He doesn't know who he is. He's in a new situation with people he doesn't know. He doesn't even know who he is. He doesn't know anything about himself from before half an hour ago, and he's trying to figure all this stuff out. They did a really good job at making all of that information and all of those scenes feel really and extremely chaotic. They did a great job with that. Also, the practical effects in this movie, like the wounds and the injuries and all that sort of thing, they did a really good job with it. They looked very realistic, very amazing. Lots of, good use of fake blood and everything. It just looked beautiful. Also, this movie had a very interesting ending. I didn't really see it coming. I saw part of it, but not the whole thing. It kind of caught me off guard. I don't want to say too much about it, though, because I don't want to spoil it or anything. The cons of this movie? Well, first of all, the acting in this movie, especially from Dolph Lundgren, was pretty damn stiff. Especially Dolph Lundgren. Vivica A. Fox was in the movie. She was just over the top and overly dramatic and bad, like she is in just about everything else she does. Dolph Lundgren was stiff. Now, I don't know if it was just his acting or if that was the way the character was meant to be. Because the character, whenever he was sitting in a chair, it was just, straight uptight. I don't know if this was like a character who just had a massive 2x4 shoved up his butt and was really uptight, or if Dolph Lundgren just decided to act like a Dolph sickle the whole damn thing. I don't know. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was the character, but it still really hurt the movie and I didn't like it. Also, this movie was slow. Really, really slow. Most of the movie was talking or a couple flashbacks to other things that happened in the past. There were a few action scenes, but every single one of them had 3 slow motion scenes in the action scene. Every gun battle had at least 3 slow motion shots of, shells flying out of the gun nice and slowly. No! Don't have that in your fight scenes. Don't have that in your action scenes. It just makes them seem slow and boring when you do that in every single action scene. Action scenes need to be fast. They need to hit you hard. They need to be exciting, not slow and little artistic stuff going on. No, screw that nonsense. Make it fast, make it hard, make it exciting, and make it fun to watch. Also, really bad CG in this movie. The practical effects were great, but the muzzle flares and the little CG ripple effects were horrible. They looked cartoonish and unrealistic, and they really took me out of the movie. But the biggest thing about this movie, the biggest con about this movie, is the freaking title. It's stupid. It's the number 4, the word got, and then the number 10. Really, the whole thing is just a play on the word forgotten. Why couldn't they just use the word for the title? The frickin' number stuff is stupid! My favorite action scene of the movie? That would have to be the scene where Danny Trejo, who played the drug lord guy, was having a shootout with the corrupt sheriff. And it wasn't a really exciting fight scene, it wasn't really an exciting action scene. It was just funny, because they were both sitting on the ground, 3 feet away from each other. And they were shooting at each other. Point blank. And I don't know if, they just were horrible shots and were missing all the time, because they unloaded like a full round of ammunition to the point where both of their weapons were emptied before they hit each other. You're sitting point blank range. You're going to hit each other more often, but the fact that they couldn't hit each other was just freaking funny. My overall thoughts on the movie? I hate to say this, but I did not enjoy this movie. I have to give it one thumb down. The biggest issue with this movie is the pacing. It really was just too slow, especially with all the slow motion parts in every action scene. Yes, it did have an interesting ending, but it wasn't enough to save the movie. I mean, I really hope this was the writers and the directors' very first attempt at making an action movie, because everything in this movie felt slow, and the action scenes in this movie were just so slow and drawn out. It was almost painful to watch them. I can't recommend this movie to anybody. And I really hate to say that, because I'm a huge fan of a good number of the top actors in this movie. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like it and subscribe to my channel for new action movie reviews posted every week. Also, if you have any recommendations for movies you would like me to review in the future, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you, and have a nice day.